Why do I create? It's just something that's in me. It's something I've always done. It's just part of who I am. Even if I chose not to, it's still here. I'm actively making a career out of it. Hey girl. You wanna pull up? I'm taking an interview. You like art? Come through.
Oh yeah, I do like art. Hey.
How you doing?
What is art?
What is art?
What is art?
What is art? What is art?
What is art?
What is art? Period.
My name is Nyasha Brown, founder of Call by Grace Foundation. Here to make effective change from Queens, New York, Farmers Boulevard, and spread love. That's all. That's all we're here for, is to love. And I just want to share it with the people. Through art, through communion, through community.
What is
People
art?
need like the basics. Like that's why I'm raising money for the homeless homie help bags. I'm putting together toiletry bags, like, you know, deodorant, socks, hats, blankets, notepads, art materials, so people can express themselves. Like, just because you're bogged down, like that's the time that you need art, like,
Right.
So you can like really just have your mind clear and, you know, still feel expressive and still feel humane. So I think it's really important to have. That's what I call basic necessities, like a book, a Bible, bottles of water, snacks, you know. And I'd love to give everybody seeds so they can come to the community garden, plant, learn about how to, you know, produce quality, organic fruits and vegetables, be able to sustain. And they have the time, so they can, you know, do what they need to do to make sure that the garden is well kept. What is art? The world without art, it would still be empty and void like it was from day one. Everything in creation is literally just a different medium of art. From the trees to these birds, these mosquitoes, it's all art. Every different wing, every pattern, every feather, every fur. Life without art it's not life at all. And the world would just be mug and chaotic. My influences? Truthfully and honestly, like the Holy Spirit of God, this is me being very earnest, like that's what really is the battery in my back. For everything. Like, so really I'm just following step by step and seeing what happens and where I'm being led, and just kind of like walking a faith journey, you know. But then it also, on top of that, you know, having divine connections like the Love Art Group and Soldega, and people who are actively pursuing the type of endeavors that I'm trying to have happen. Yeah. Those people are very inspirational. Just to see, like, if you just put the steps forward, like, eventually they'll compound to something great and beautiful, and people will recognize it, and the power of networking. Yeah. Feel about the current digital age of art. I enjoy it. I think it's taking art to different levels, like those 3D ink pens. Have you seen those, where you can literally make structures like come to life, like two-dimensional drawings, three-dimensional? That's game changer. I was playing with paint the other day on my computer at work. They have a Paint 3D where you can literally like take the image on Paint, rotate it, see how you push things forward, move it back. Blew my mind. It's beautiful. It's really taking art up a notch, and I'm really here for it, because, you know, like the kids, the teenagers of today, they're going to learn how to finesse that system really well, and I think it'll really kind of create like a renaissance for art and for what it means, and put it out there more, because people are forgetting about how decadent art is. But I think with the technology that's coming out today, it's making it real easy for that to be taken to the next level and incorporated in daily life, whether it be through architecture, or murals like the subway station in Manhattan. You know, some of them could be revamped and incorporated that way. I think it's really awesome. I'm here for it. My art brings me peace because it's very simple, and sometimes you find the best joys in just the little things. So even if you're just taking a moment to just mix some pigment together and it comes out beautiful, and you don't have to stress to think about the next paint stroke or what you have to do, it really makes the time to enjoy it right there and vivid, easy, accessible. I tell my 13-year-old self to stay the child that I know that I should be, because there's no reason to adult so hard. I tell my 13-year-old self to keep the passion that's inside for art, and that it'll push you to the places that you need to be, and faith will take you there every step of the way. What is art? I'm thinking. It's a good question. I think art is very dynamic. It's really hard to peg it to a certain thing, but I think the gist of art is just forms of expression through the different senses, and even outside of our senses, you know, using our own physical beings to express what we need to convey. But outside of that, you know, on the scope of the whole world being art, essentially, I think art is just like the thumbprint of God, just showing how beautiful things can be.
What is art? I have been creating since I was 6 years old, I guess you can say. First creative thing I ever done was write a story. Denzel Taylor, I'm from Houston, Texas, but I live in Harlem, New York. I've been dancing since I was 9. I took my first dance class at 13, but dancing around the house, dancing at my sister's football games. My sister was the captain of the Majorettes. And so my mom would always take me to her game. I would somehow always find a way to get on the field, and from the field, I would just be going hard. And they would always be like, look at Denzi, that's Lisa's little sister on me, little brother on the field dancing and doing all kind of crazy shit with the band.
What is art?
What is art?
What is art?
What is art? What is art? What is art? What is art?
What is art? I feel like Jermaine Dupri is one of my inspirations. From dancers, Misty Copeland is one of my inspirations. Matthew Russian is an inspiration. And my mom and dad, of course, I'm inspired by. And having those type of inspirations behind you and that type of love in your corner, I believe that gives me motivation to keep going. As far as actors, I love my Instagram comedians. So Famous Quay, Pretty V, Lala Milan, Carrie, those type of artists that make big ass productions and big ass influences by just doing what it is that they personally love to do inspires me, and it pushes me to keep going and doing what it is that I love to do. What is art? I worked my ass off at 13 because that's when I was stepping into competition dance and musical theater and training. So I was always on myself to always be better, or always do better, or, you know, not necessarily one up myself, but be the best Denzel that I can be. And so I would always tell my 13-year-old self, go as hard as you can go. Get them niggas the gag factor. Never doubt yourself. And just, you know, always have fun. Because if you love what you're doing, you're not working. So never work. Because if you creating, if you developing something, you're not necessarily working. Because deep down inside you have that passion to innovate people, to inspire people, to change what it is that their outlook is on life. And so keep that and let that grow beyond you. Walk in your anointings and just be happy and be you, 100% you. One thing about my art that brings me peace is the freedom to be able to create. Knowing that I can go as far as I want to go with no boundaries, and no limits are on my imagination. So whatever I want to do, I know that I'm able to do, because within my creation is my freedom. So my freedom brings me peace. I think the digital age of art is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing, one, because you can see so many different aesthetics, you can learn so many new things, you can connect with different people and different cultures, but then I believe it's a curse because it's so fast. And when you're working on projects, music-wise, it's so easy for you to accidentally upload some shit, leak some shit that could have been for your album. You just leaked some shit that wasn't your single, and then the whole world hears it. And it's not your single, but you just accidentally gave it away to the world. Same goes with choreography. You can be in the studio dancing, and just because you do this one thing that's mad dope, you can do a motherfucking back handspring, twist and layout, and because you putting this in your section, somebody in your studio recording it, and they just leaked your choreography to the next team that follows your studio. You get what I'm saying? So it's a blessing, but it's also a curse, because you can learn so much, but then you can also give so much away. What is art? Art is your best self, I believe. Art is self-expression. Art is multifaceted, because art can be visual, art can be vocally, art can be so many different things. It's how you feel. Sometimes I feel like screaming, but not out of anger, not out of sadness, just because today I want to scream. And because I'm an artist, that sound coming from my voice is my art. It's how I feel at that moment. And because I'm able to do what I want in that moment, it's me. And that is my art. So I believe art is whatever you want it to be, simply if you commit to it. Because if you half-ass it, then you're a half-ass artist. But if you really commit to it and you truly believe in what it is that you are doing, your art is yourself. Art is you, art is me, art is freedom, and art is self-expression. So the root of all of that is art is you. What are you as an artist? And myself, I'm a creator. So my art is creating, from storyboards to dance moves to dance sets to dance stories to productions, tales, songs, creating. And myself, Denzel Taylor, is a creator. And that's what art is to me.